In this lesson, I'm going to talk about the importance of building your email list starting from day one. Now, this is something I actually ignored myself for a long time, and I realized I've been missing out. So we're going to talk about building your email list, and we're going to go through how to actually build a two-page funnel to build your email list starting today. So what you're going to learn from this video is why building your email list is so important and how a simple two-page funnel can actually help you. I'm also going to actually show you how to build a really simple funnel as well, so you can start building your own email list. So why does email matter so much? The thing is, with social media, things can change quite quickly. So you might be thinking, I've got a lot of followers on social media, I'm going viral, I'm appearing live every day, I've got a really good following on there. But what would happen if that social media platform got banned? Whether your account got hacked by hackers, this could cause your business to go down if you lost your social media account. And it might not even be your fault. The point is that your social media channels are in the hands of the platforms and the companies that control them, and they could be taken away any minute. So email beats social media every time. Once someone signed up to your email list, you've got them then, and you just need to keep them on your list by providing value content to them. So the simple funnel blueprint we're going to use for our basic two-page funnel is an opt-in page and a thank you page. So what we want to do is we want to create a landing page for our potential customers, our audience, to come to, enter their name and email address in, so then we can store them details on our list to use in the future. But the thing is, they're not just going to come in and give you their name and email address for nothing. So we need to do what's called a lead magnet. We need to produce something for them in exchange for their name and email address. And you can create one of these yourself, depending on what your niche is, what your business is about. You can create your own lead magnet in like a program called Canva. Now, this lesson's not going to go through that process of building a lead magnet. Another alternative, instead of producing like a PDF that they download, you could actually produce a video that appears on the thank you page. That could be a lead magnet. You could be offering a free lesson. That could be your lead magnet. That would be what the person is giving their name and email address in exchange for. So just for example purposes, this is a digital marketing basics guide that I produced a while ago that I was offering originally as a lead magnet on my website. And it's just a file made in Canva, quite simple to make, nothing too flashy about it, it's just information. So what we're going to do when we get to the actual funnel building process, we're going to be using this guide as the lead magnet to get people to sign up to the funnel. Before we move on from this bit, all I'm going to do is I'm going to want to use the front cover of this lead magnet so I can use it on the funnel page. So I'm just going to save this graphic so I can use it. So I'm going to download it. I'm going to download it as a PNG file, which is an image. And I only want to download the first page, which is the cover. So like I said, I'm going to use the cover of this ebook on my funnel page. And we're going to actually keep this Canva document open. I mean, Canva, you can actually use a free account with Canva. This really is the simplest funnel strategy. It's just 2 pages. There's no technical headaches with it. There's no overwhelm. It really is just 2 pages, but it will let you start building an email list. So now, in this part of the video, I'm going to show you how to actually build our simple 2-page funnel in System.io. So if you want to actually follow along with System.io, click on the link below to create your free System.io account. Right, let's get stuck into actually building this funnel. So when you get into system.io, you end up with a page that looks similar to this. Now I'm using a blank account on this one because my main one is just there's things everywhere. It's cluttered and it would confuse you if I showed you my real system.io account. So I'm using a blank one for the demonstration of this video. In here, you'll see your menu at the top, and the one we're interested in is under websites. And under websites, you've got the option for creating a sales funnel. Now, we know we're not selling anything yet. We're just building a list, but it's in the sales funnel section. I'll click on that. We've now got a space where there's no funnels. So what we need to do now is actually create our first funnel. And we do that by creating a new funnel by using the create button in the top right. We need to give our funnel a name. So I'm just going to call it Digital Marketing Basics. Now you'll notice when you get your system.io account that you actually get a free domain with it. It's not a very pretty one. As you can see here, you'd want to probably get something that aligns with your brand and your company name. We're not going to talk about that in this video, but I will be providing training on how to create a domain name and actually add it to system.io so you can make this look a lot better. It could be yourcompanyname.com, something like that. But for now, we're just going to move on without creating our own domain name. We're going to use the one that we get free with system.io. And this will work totally fine. So the options we've got on this page are what type of funnel we want to make. We can make one that builds an audience, one that sells products. You can make a custom one where you start completely from scratch yourself. And once you've built one a few times, you probably go down that route because you can totally control what's on the page. And we've got a currency drop down here. Now, we're not going to be taking payments on this funnel, so we can just leave that the way it is at the moment. But if you were taking payments for something on a funnel, you would set your currency in that box. We don't need to worry about that at this point. But the one we are going to choose is we're going to build an audience. We're going to collect email addresses into an email list. So I'm going to choose that option there and press save. And you'll see now it's created a funnel called Digital Marketing Basics, which is what my lead magnet is. That's what we're going to be giving the user in exchange for their name and email address. So if I click on that funnel, you'll notice it's created 2 pages for us. This is the 2-page funnel. The first one is our squeeze page, also known as a landing page. This is what you will be directing your traffic to. So from social media, on your Facebook, your TikTok, your Instagram, you're going to be directing your ideal customers to this page, the one that you're going to create in a minute. So we've got a squeeze page, and you notice we've also got a thank you page. So once they've actually signed up and put their email address in and the name, you're going to write a thank you page for them, thanking them for putting their details in. But if we just go back up to the squeeze page section, it actually gives us quite a few different templates to choose from. And just have a look through them to try and find one that aligns with your own brand, your identity. And you can actually tweak these as well. You don't have to stick with the one you start with. You can actually change the pictures and the text around on them. So you're not stuck with the one that you get. We're just looking for a starting point really, so that we can change things ourselves. So I'm just going to have a little browse through to find one that sort of aligns with what I want to do with this lead magnet. Now, while you're browsing the templates in system.io, you can actually preview the template before you actually commit to using that one. So if I just click on one, click on the preview template, it opens up what it will look like in a new window, a new tab. So I'll browse through them. I think in my demonstration, I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to go ahead and commit to using this template here. And I'm going to press the select button. So now we can actually edit that page that we've created. This is what our first page of the two-page funnel looks like. This is the landing page or squeeze page. And we need to change some bits around on here. So we're not going to use all the bits on here. This was put in there for the template. So I'm not going to use all these logos. I'm going to delete these here. So using System.io is very easy. You've got these different elements on the screen that you can sort of change the size of. You can reformat them, things like that, like you can do in like a Word document. But we're going to get rid of all these things down here that we don't need. We just want to make this a really basic page for our potential customer. So I'm going to get rid of all that. Like I said, we're not going to use these. We're just going to keep the main bit. I'm not going to go through this in this lesson, but it's worth mentioning now that on your funnel pages, in the footer, you should have any legal text on there that you need for compliance. So like your privacy policy. If you're doing affiliate marketing, you should have things like an affiliate disclosure and income disclosure, things like that. They will go down in your footer, but we're not going to worry about that in this lesson. This is just to show you how to get started with the funnel. But if you're doing this for real, you'll have to have your legal documentation in the footer. Now we've actually got the outline for our funnel page. And we're going to change the text in the image on here. So I've actually got the text that I want to use in my funnel in a document already. So in the title part, I'm going to use that text. I'm going to copy and paste it to save typing it all in. I'm going to replace the text that's in there with my own one. And then the subheading will go in underneath. So you can see I'm just copying the text. You could just type into this yourself if you wanted to, but to speed things up, I'm just pasting them in there. We've also got a button here that says book a meeting. We don't want our button to say that. We want to say something like, get your free digital marketing now on the right hand side, we're going to change this picture. If you remember earlier on, I actually copied the front cover of my Canva document, which is our lead magnet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the picture. I'm going to delete the actual picture that's there and click on this upload button. I'm going to actually select the image that I downloaded previously in Canva. You can see the image is quite big. If I click on the image, you can actually see on the left hand side, I can sort of like resize that, make it a bit smaller. As you can see, it looks a bit sort of basic at the moment, so I'm going to put like a shadow behind it. So I'm going to click on the image. If I scroll down these options on the left hand side, you can see there, I can actually put a shadow behind the document. It makes it look a lot better. You might have noticed that our page doesn't have anywhere for the person's name and email address to be put in. Some templates do have that, but this template doesn't. What this template does is, what happens when you click on the button is that it opens up a pop-up window and it looks like this. So we're still on the first page. It's not a separate page, but it's a pop-up window that appears on the first page. I'm just going to say, so on here, we've actually got already set up for us. We've got an email box. What we're going to add in a box for the first name as well. It's a good thing about capturing the first name as well as the email address is that in the future, when you do start emailing people on your list, you can actually refer to them by the first name. What it means is that when we create an email campaign and send an email to the list, it can personalize the email for that person. So it'll say hi and whatever their first name is. It makes it more personal for them. If we just had the email address, it wouldn't be very personal. So we do capture the first name as well. And to do that, on the left hand side, I'll go to the form input. And all I do is I drag the form input onto the page. And you'll notice that it hasn't actually come up with the type of field that it's asking for. And all we do for that is we click on the box we just put in, which is blank at the moment. And on the left hand side, choose what type it is. And in this case, we want it to be the person's first name that we're capturing. Now you can see it's asking for the first name, and the other one's already done for us. You'll notice as well that these boxes are a bit sort of close to each other. So if I click on one of them, you'll notice on the left hand side there's a thing to space out things. So at the bottom, I can actually increase the space by setting the margin underneath that box. So let's close that pop-up window down now. So we just have a preview and see what it's looking like, see what the user will see. If we can do that by clicking on the preview button. And when yours goes live, it won't have the yellow bar at the top. This is just when you're testing it. But now, when I click on Get Your Free Digital Marketing Guide, a pop-up window appears with the first name and email address. I'm just going to close the preview window down. So once we're happy with that, click on the Save Changes button on the top right hand side, and we can quit out of that squeeze page now. So now it's actually time to edit the thank you page, because they've actually put their first name and email address in. We want to thank them for doing so, and we're going to deliver them the file that we said we were going to on this page. So again, when you choose the thank you page, you've got some pre-made templates you can choose from. Again, you can actually use the preview template option before you pick one. I'm going to pick one, something really simple. I'm going to pick this one. And when we've done that, we go to edit page. I'm just going to delete all the stuff off this page. What I'm going to do here is just add some text on the screen. Got the text in. You've actually got the text in the middle of the document. We can change the font size as well on the left hand side. We can make it bold. So what you could do on this page, as your lead magnet, like I mentioned earlier, you might not be offering a document for them to download. You might want to offer them like a free lesson or a free taster session on something that you videoed. You could actually record your own video and add it to this page on the thank you page. So they have to sign up to get to the video, but you could add a video to this page. So all you do for that is, if you wanted to add a video, on the left hand side in the media section, you've got a video option, and you basically just click on it and it will add the video element to your page. So there's a few ways you can actually get a video on this page. You can link to it directly. If it's on YouTube, you could link to the YouTube video. You can embed it in the page, or you can actually upload a file if you've got the video file you recorded yourself, you could upload it directly to system.io. But in this example, we're going to be delivering the Canva file, the digital marketing basis Canva file that I've made. So to do this, we're going to deliver the document to the person that signed up. And for that, what I want to do is I want to create a button. I want to add a button to my page. If I click on that button, we're going to change the text that's contained within that button. And underneath, you've got subtext. I can just delete the subtext on this one. You can change the font as well if you want to change the font of the text within inside the button. So now we've got a button that doesn't do anything, and we're going to change that now. So we want to deliver the Canva file to the person that signed up. How we do that in Canva is that we don't want to give them editing rights to this, because this is your own file. You don't want them tampering with it. You want to give them a copy of it that they can just view. And we do that in Canva by sharing it with them and creating what's called a public view link. We click on that option there inside Canva. It gives us the option to create a public view link. And there it is there. And we can copy that link by clicking on the button next to it. So what will happen now is we've copied that link. We're going to go back into system.io, click on the button. What we're going to do is we're going to change what happens when the button is clicked on. We don't want it to submit the form. What we want it to do is to open up a URL. That's the URL we've just copied from Canva. In there, you will paste the link, the public view link for your Canva file. I like to open it up in a new window as well. So it opens up a new window for the person that downloads it. When we've done that, we save the changes. But now we've actually got a simple 2-page funnel. And before we go ahead and actually test it, I'm just going to go back into the squeeze page and show you what's happening. So what's going to happen is they're going to come in to this page. All the traffic's being directed at this page. They're going to click on this button, and this button actually triggers the pop-up window. So once they're on the pop-up window, they're going to enter the first name in and the email address and click on the submit button. And what that submit button is going to do is going to submit the form to system.io, and it's going to move them to the next step of the funnel, which will be the thank you page. So everything's set up now to actually go ahead and test it. So what we do to actually test it is click on the view funnel option. Now you can see the funnel as other people will see it. So now I've got the headline and subheading and the front cover picture showing the user what they'll get when they sign up for the guide. When they click on the button, it's going to open up the pop-up window where they can enter their name in. And once you've entered the email address in there you're testing it with, press the submit button. And what will happen is, after they've submitted their details will be entered onto the email list part of system.io. They will get the thank you page window open where they can actually download the document that we promised them. So I click on that button now. It's going to open up the read-only version of that document. So they can't change anything. It's a public-only view link. So they've actually got that file now. So the person's come onto your 2-page funnel, they've entered their details, and they've been delivered the file that we promised them. What happens then? Well, when they submitted their name and email address, it got stored in System.io. And you can see that by going to the CRM part of System.io. So if I click on the CRM section and click on contacts, you will then see that when I tested the funnel, that it went into the list. And as you add more people and more people come to your funnel and submit their details, this list will grow. And that's what you want. So there it is. That's a simple 2-page funnel. It's worth mentioning that this funnel, there's nothing tricky about it. We're not doing anything fancy at this point. In the future, what you will do once you've built your list is start communicating with that list. But we're not going to go through that in this lesson at this point. We're just going to start building the list. But the intention is that in the future, you will use other parts of the software to communicate with your list. And I'll be adding further trainings on this page, so look out for them. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you enjoy building your own funnel, and good luck.